Greetings, family. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is well. In this particular video, I want to discuss a very powerful social justice movement that is currently taking place in America as a response to the anti-DEI sentiment that is currently prevailing in American society. Now, we know that DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And I believe it's simply a rebranding of affirmative action. If you can recall, in American history, in 1965, the Affirmative Action Bill was passed, which sought to increase the representation of minorities in the workforce. Okay, we know that during integration, there was a very hateful sentiment towards Black Americans. White persons didn't want them to use the same fountains. They didn't want them to ride in the front of the bus. They didn't want them to stand on the same line. And so naturally, they also had issues with Black people getting certain types of employment. Well, family, the Affirmative Action Bill sought to address this. And so they increased the amount of African Americans in certain key roles in society. And I believe in 1968, they expanded affirmative action to include women. Okay, because affirmative action was not just about Black people. It was also about the underrepresentation of women in various important roles in society. And so in 1968, they expanded this reach to include women. Now, family, you all know that there's a certain theory called critical race theory. And critical race theory is a set of ideas which suggests that racial bias is inherent in many parts of Western society, especially within its legal and social institutions, on the basis of their being designed and implemented by white people and for white people. And so, family, we know that this implicit bias is pervasive in American society. All through American society, there is bias. This didn't just start post 2000. This was happening since the plantation. All right, but most of this really hit fever pitch in the 1940s to the 1960s when there was an increase in the social justice movement. Persons collaborated to see to it that certain changes were made in American society. Okay, family. But Donald Trump and the Republican Party did something that the world has never seen before. It's historic, right? As I said in my video about why Kamala Harris lost the election, somehow the Republican message was so powerful that they actually got immigrants to oppose immigration, right? They got immigrants to oppose the pathway to citizenship that they themselves took the liberty of. Family, the Republican message was so powerful that they actually got women to oppose diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? There were women who actually had an issue with DEI programs, right? If you can recall, when Donald Trump was shot, there was widespread discussion about the women who were in his Secret Service detail, right? They had some short blonde women in some sunglasses and these coats that were basically walking around, talking in walkie-talkies, looking frantic. Now, I'm not saying this was because they are women, but my point is, many people said that, you know what, Donald Trump was probably shot because he had a lot of females in his Secret Service detail, right? This is what many people were saying. If you look in chat rooms all throughout YouTube, people were saying that it's because these women were guarding him and not men, right? And so misogyny is still a prevailing theme in America, okay? And what added to this is when Donald Trump actually suggested that the mid-air collision between the Apache helicopter and the plane was because of DEI, right? And he didn't really go into any details to clarify what he meant. He didn't specify it. But all he told the reporters is that he believes it's DEI because he has common sense, right? And so, family, DEI has come under attack, right? And I believe many of us were unaware of this because, the veiled language has now dominated the political space. Okay, as George Carlin said, people are using soft language. So rather than saying anti-affirmative action, what they're really saying is just it's anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? It's become something that is so incendiary that I liken it to a particular video, which I will play right now.
Yeah. But then the people from the future came along, and now we're out of work too. Oh, they took our jobs. They took your jobs.
So family, like I'm saying, it's becoming very incendiary. The language has become very extreme, but it's no different than South Park characters saying they took our gerbs. Okay, family. But in response to this, we get into the subject of this video because Al Sharpton and the National Action Network, in conjunction with various other civic and social organizations, have actually called for a boycott of all of these stores and organizations that have decided to follow this political rhetoric and actually incorporate it into their new strategy. And so many companies like Target, Walmart, McDonald's, and other major corporations have decided to destroy the DEI infrastructure in their company. Okay, and so this essentially is anti-affirmative action. Okay, and so what Al Sharpton and various other leaders have done is initiated a boycott of Target. And I saw some videos of the aisles in Target stores during peak hours, and it's a ghost town. I couldn't see even white people in Target. The store was empty, and it seems to me that the action has reached the CEO and the executives. Okay, as Target has now come out and trying to walk back some of the anti-DEI rhetoric that has come out as of late. And so, family, this action has caused Target and other companies billions of dollars in this short amount of time that the boycott has taken place. Okay, family, and there's an upcoming boycott of all stores, which is coming up on February 28th. And so I would encourage all of my subscribers from the Bahamas, from Jamaica, from other parts of the Caribbean, from Canada. I would like for all of us to assist with this most urgent action. Okay, family, because all of the inroads of the civil rights movement are about to be wiped away. And essentially, society is going to be set back 100 years maybe by this anti-DEI, anti-affirmative action rhetoric. Okay, family. And so these companies only feel the crunch when it hits their bottom line. And so I would ask for my subscribers and anybody who is watching this video to join in with this action, whether you might be white, whether you might be black, Latino, Asian. This is about all humans. This is about decency. This is about social justice and human rights. And so I would like for everyone to join in the boycott of Target. Let's Target. We need to target Walmart. We need to target McDonald's. We need to Target, Starbucks, all of these companies that seem to want to be in Republican Party's good graces and forget that they actually need the millions of consumers to actually have value on their stock, to actually make a profit. Okay, family. And so, before this video gets too long, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about all these dynamics. One love.